Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we try to cut through the noise and really get you well informed on the topics that matter right now.
Yeah, there's a lot out there.
Absolutely. And if you're someone grappling with just the sheer, you know, deluge of information flooding modern IT environments, I mean, everything from hybrid clouds to microservices,
It's overwhelming.
it really is. Or maybe you're looking at how machine learning and big data set mining could actually possibly bring some order to all that chaos. Well, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're plunging into a solution that, well, it promises to bring some sanity back to IT operations.
And that feeling of being utterly swamped by alerts, logs, data points, that's something IT professionals know all too well, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, consider this statistic, 10,000 servers, okay, each monitoring 100 metrics
Yeah.
every minute.
Wow.
That adds up to an astonishing 60 million data points an hour.
60 million an hour.
Trying to manage that manually, it's not just inefficient, it leads straight to what everyone calls alert fatigue. It makes traditional human-centric operations basically unsustainable.
It's like trying to bail out a speedboat with a teaspoon.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
And that overwhelming challenge is precisely what our topic today, AIOps, artificial intelligence for IT operations, is designed to tackle.
Right.
It's a term that's really gaining traction fast. And our mission in this deep dive is pretty straightforward. Give you a clear, concise understanding of what AIOps truly is.
Beyond the buzzword.
Exactly, beyond the buzzword, why it's becoming so indispensable for handling these massive data models and, how it's actually being used in enterprises today, even in these incredibly high volume environments like, say, DNS.
Mm-hmm.
Fundamentally, AIOps is about shifting IT, moving from constantly reacting, fighting fires,
The break-fix cycle.
to proactively predicting and even preventing problems.
Hmm.
So let's start right there. Let's define this powerful concept.
Okay, so at its core, AIOps is the application of artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, ML, and big data analytics, specifically focused on automating and enhancing how IT environments are managed.
So it's more than just a fancy label.
Oh, much more. It represents a really sophisticated, data-driven approach. It's not just hype.
Okay, so when we talk about its intelligence, it's not like one single AI brain running the show.
No, not at all. That's a common misconception. Its intelligence is actually quite multifaceted, and it's constantly evolving. Think of it as a dynamic blend. You've got high-speed data processing, sophisticated pattern recognition, adaptive decision-making.
Adaptive being key, I imagine.
Absolutely. Well, it might start with some rule-based logic, especially when you first deploy it.
Setting things up initially.
Right. But the real power, and definitely the direction it's heading, is towards adaptive machine learning-driven intelligence. That means it learns, it refines its understanding over time, moving beyond static rules that people would have to constantly update.
Which is just not scalable with today's complexity.
Not at all.
And I've seen other names floating around too. Things like IT Operations Analytics, ITOA, or AI for ITOM. Are those basically talking about the same thing?
Yeah, that's right. They all point to the same recognized concept. The core idea is infusing advanced intelligence into IT operations to handle the sheer scale and complexity we see now.
Okay, so let's talk about the foundations then. Where does this power actually come from? What are the pillars?
Good question. The foundational pillars really show where the immense power originates.
You mentioned the data scale, that deluge. So how does AIOps make sense of it all? Is that where big data analytics comes in as like pillar number one?
Absolutely. That's the starting point.
Yep.
Modern IT environments are practically drowning in data, right? And AIOps platforms, they're specifically engineered to ingest, first of all, and then aggregate these massive volumes. And critically, from really fragmented sources. We're talking logs, metrics, events, traces, historical records.
All the stuff that usually lives in its own little world, its own silo.
Exactly. AIOps breaks down those walls. That 60 million data points per hour number we threw out. AIOps is built not just to handle that kind of scale, but actually make it understandable, make it useful.
Okay, so you ingest and aggregate all this data. What's the next step? How do you turn that mountain of data into something actually actionable? Is that where machine learning comes in? The linchpin, maybe?
Precisely. You nailed it.
Yeah.
ML algorithms, they're the engine here. They work tirelessly, scrutinizing these vast data sets. And they automate core functions, things like anomaly detection, finding the weird stuff.
Spotting deviations.
Right. Forecasting future trends, recognizing complex patterns, things a human might easily miss, and, crucially, performing rapid root cause analysis.
So figuring out why something happened fast.
Exactly. And this capability, this is what transforms AIOps from just being reactive to being truly predictive. It can anticipate issues before they blow up,
Okay.
and even prescriptive, meaning it can actually initiate automatic fixes for problems it identifies.
Wow. Okay, so beyond ML, what about broader AI capabilities? You mentioned AI at the start. Things like natural language processing, NLP, where do they fit?
Good point. AI capabilities, including NLP, they get integrated to automate and optimize IT service management workflows.
Hmm.
So think about extracting meaning from unstructured data like text and incident tickets or maybe chat logs between engineers.
Right, stuff that isn't neat numbers.
Exactly. It helps provide intelligent, actionable insights from that too. This drives more automation, things like smarter alerting, and it can even improve how IT teams collaborate.
This all sounds incredibly powerful, almost like a silver bullet, but I have to think there's a catch, or maybe a critical dependency. What's the secret ingredient that makes or breaks this?
You've hit on probably the most crucial point, data quality.
Okay.
While AIOps absolutely thrives on vast amounts of data, its effectiveness, its efficacy is profoundly dependent on that data being consistent, complete, and accurate.
Garbage in, garbage out, basically.
It's the classic GI Go problem, amplified. Think of it like a top chef with the best kitchen imaginable. If the ingredients are bad, the final dish is still going to be a disaster.
Right.
So if your data sources, let's say your configuration management database, your CMDB, if it isn't kept up to date, which is, let's be honest, a common struggle,
Very common.
then the ML models are learning from flawed information. And that leads straight to false positives, missed anomalies, unreliable predictions, and you end up right back with that alert fatigue you were trying to solve.
So it undermines the whole promise. You absolutely need solid data governance. Meticulous data collection isn't just nice to have, it's foundational.
Foundational.
Yeah.
Absolutely essential for AIOps success.
Okay, so assuming you have good data practices in place, how does this all come together in practice? Like, what's the actual workflow? How do you get from raw data to these valuable insights and automated actions?
Right. It's a pretty well-defined multi-stage process. Though the specifics can vary between platforms, the core flow is similar. It typically starts with phase 0, setting a baseline.
Establishing what's normal.
Exactly. The system learns and benchmarks what normal system behavior looks like across all the metrics it's ingesting. This baseline is the crucial reference point for everything else.
Makes sense. Then comes the part we already touched on, data ingestion and aggregation.
Correct. Pulling in that real-time and historical information from that huge array of sources, logs, metrics, events, CMDBs, APM maps, virtualization tools, even things like chat messages or past incident reports. Getting that unified view is key.
Okay, data's in, baseline set. What's next?
Next is real-time processing and analysis. This is where the ML algorithms kick in, processing both structured and unstructured data basically instantaneously.
And that leads to a really critical phase, I imagine, cutting through the noise.
Yes, this is a huge value proposition. Phase 1, event correlation and noise reduction. AI and ML intelligently group related events, they figure out what's connected, and crucially, they filter out the noise, the false positives, the irrelevant alerts.
The stuff that causes alert fatigue.
Precisely. Some reports say AIOps can achieve noise reduction of 80% or even more. Think about that impact on an operations team.
That's enormous. Just freeing up that mental bandwidth must be huge. Okay, noise reduced. Then what?
Then AIOps gets proactive. Phase 2, anomaly detection. This is where the system actively identifies unusual trends or deviations from that baseline we established. It flags potential problems before they escalate.
Finding the smoke before there's fire.
That's a good way to think about it. And this feeds directly into phase 3, root cause analysis, or RCA.
Ah, the holy grail for incident management.
Well, AIOps automates a big part of it. It correlates events across different systems, uses contextual data, and tries to pinpoint the precise underlying cause of an issue, moving beyond just symptoms.
Okay, so it identifies the potential cause. Then what happens?
Then it's about intelligent alerting and prioritization. Instead of just raw alerts, AIOps transforms them into consolidated actionable incidents. And importantly, it prioritizes them based on potential business impact.
So the team knows what to focus on first.
Exactly. And then comes the really transformative part, automated remediation and response.
The system fixing things itself?
Yes, often. This is where AIOps can execute predefined actions, runbooks, playbooks, or even AI-driven responses to automatically resolve common issues. Think restarting services, adjusting resource allocations, maybe automatically creating a validated ticket in the service desk, often without any human needing to step in.
That's a huge leap.
It is, and the whole process includes continuous improvement. The system is constantly learning from every event, every action, every resolution, refining its models over time, getting smarter.
So this entire workflow, it really signals that fundamental shift we talked about, moving away from just break fix to
Right.
something more like predict, prevent, optimize. You're not just putting out fires, you're actively preventing them and tuning the system.
Exactly. And the result?
Yeah.
Drastically reduced downtime, significantly improved service availability. It really elevates IT from being seen as just a cost center to being a proactive enabler of the business.
That sounds incredibly impactful. So let's pivot to how this is actually playing out. In the enterprise today, what specific pain points is AIOps really hitting for organizations, especially those dealing with these huge data sets, and what kind of value are they seeing?
Well, many of the things we just walked through are the direct pain points being addressed. Obviously, that intelligent filtering helps massively with alert fatigue,
Right.
but beyond that, it dramatically speeds up incident detection and resolution. We're seeing substantial reductions in mean time to resolution, MTTR, often 60–70%, sometimes even more.
That's huge for business continuity.
Massive. It also directly tackles those old problems, lack of visibility in data silos. By pulling data from all those disparate tools into one unified, contextualized view, everyone's finally looking at the same picture.
And that move away from purely reactive operations, that's a strategic win. No more just waiting for the phone to ring.
Absolutely. It enables a truly proactive, predictive maintenance stance. Plus, think about the burden of manual, repetitive tasks. They're a huge drain on skilled staff. There was one example. An organization managed to automatically route 82% of its IT tickets in under 30 seconds.
Wow.
A process that used to take 5 hours of manual effort. Imagine freeing up that much time for your skilled IT staff. They can focus on innovation, on strategic work, not just triage.
Yeah, moving up the value chain. And what about security? With cyber threats constantly evolving, does AIOps play a role there too?
Oh, definitely. It's increasingly important. AI apps can actively monitor for suspicious activities,
Right.
unusual logins, weird data access patterns, potential breaches. It can flag them and even help isolate affected systems in real time.
So it makes security more proactive too, not just reacting after a breach.
Exactly. It shifts security towards more active automated threat hunting, integrated right into operations.
Okay, let's talk about a specific high-volume environment. You mentioned DNS earlier, domain name system. That's processing billions, maybe trillions of queries globally. How does AIOps specifically help there? It seems like a prime candidate.
It really is.
Yeah.
AIOps capabilities map very well to DNS challenges. First, performance optimization. DNS needs to be fast and reliable. AIOps can continuously monitor performance, combine historical query data with current trends, and predict when DNS infrastructure needs tuning or scaling before performance degrades.
Preventing slowdowns during peak times.
Exactly. And then there's security. For DNS, quickly spotting unusual behavior is critical for defense. Think DDoS attacks or data exfiltration attempts using DNS tunneling.
Nasty stuff.
Right. AIOps anomaly detection can identify abnormal query patterns, like a sudden flood from one source, or queries to suspicious domains. This can then trigger adaptive rate limiting.
Ah, okay, so the system automatically throttles or blocks the suspicious traffic.
Precisely. It allows the system to isolate affected parts of the DNS infrastructure or apply rate limits specifically to the suspicious traffic, mitigating attacks in real time without necessarily taking down the whole service.
That's much more intelligent than just blunt blocking. And automated remediation. Given how critical DNS is, that must be valuable too.
Absolutely vital. If AIOps detects a struggling DNS server or predicts a resource shortfall, it can automatically trigger actions like restarting a service, allocating more resources, or failing over to a healthy instance, ensuring continuous availability.
And capacity planning too, I guess. Predicting future load.
Yes, that's another key application. By analyzing query volumes and trends, AIOps can forecast future resource demands much more accurately. This helps avoid under-provisioning, which causes outages, or over-provisioning, which wastes money. Crucial for stable DNS at scale.
So it sounds like AIOps isn't really replacing existing tools and practices like ITOM, DevOps, or SRE. It's more an enhancing them? Sitting on top, maybe?
That's a really critical distinction to make.
Mhm.
Yes, it complements and elevates these existing methodologies. It doesn't aim to rip and replace everything.
Okay, so for ITOM, IT Operations Management, AIOps becomes like the AI for ITOM we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. It takes the data and context that ITOM provides about the infrastructure and applies advanced analytics and automation to make it more proactive, more predictive.
And how does it enhance DevOps? DevOps is already big on automation.
It is, but AIOps is often seen as the next evolution for DevOps. While DevOps automates deployment pipelines and infrastructure, monitoring and incident response often still involve a lot of manual steps and alert noise.
Right, the ops part can still be reactive.
Precisely. AIOps brings that AI-driven predictive monitoring. It automates more of the incident resolution decision-making, and it drastically cuts down that alert noise, which is often referred to as operational toil.
And speaking of toil, that's a huge focus for SREs, site reliability engineers. How does AIOps help them?
It's a massive amplifier for SRE. It directly automates much of that toil SREs are always trying to eliminate. This frees them up for higher-level strategic work, designing more resilient systems, improving efficiency, planning capacity. AIOps provides the deep, data-driven insights they need for that work.
So it's almost like AIOps acts as this intelligent overlay. It consumes data from all the existing monitoring tools, observability platforms, ITSM systems, applies its advanced analytics and ML, and then feeds back actionable insights and automated actions into those same systems or directly to the teams.
That's an excellent way to visualize it. It's the intelligence layer making the whole ecosystem smarter and more efficient, especially at scales that humans just can't manage alone anymore.
But implementing this isn't just plug and play, right? What are the hurdles, the challenges organizations face?
No, definitely not plug and play. We already talked about the absolute necessity of high-quality, diverse data. That's often challenge number one.
Getting the data house in order.
Right. Then there's integration complexity. Tying AIOps into all the existing tools, especially older legacy systems, can be technically challenging.
And then there's the people side, the human element. That often gets underestimated, doesn't it?
Hugely underestimated.
Yeah.
Resistance to change, cultural shifts. These are often the biggest obstacles, frankly.
Fear of job displacement,
Yeah.
or just discomfort with new ways of working.
Both and more. The transition from operations being heavily human-reliant to being highly automated, AI-assisted, it can be a bumpy ride. You also run into skill gaps needing people who understand not just IT operations, but also data science, AI, ML, to really leverage these platforms effectively.
So it's as much about change management as it is about technology. What are some best practices then for navigating this implementation journey successfully?
Well, first, define very clear objectives. What problems are you trying to solve with AIOps? Don't just deploy it because it's trendy.
Start with the why.
Exactly. Start small. Pilot projects are key. Pick a specific use case, prove the value, learn, and then scale gradually. Invest heavily in training and upskilling your IT teams. Not just how to use the tool, but how to interpret the data, how to work with the AI.
Fostering collaboration seems important too, breaking down those silos we mentioned earlier.
Crucial. And maintain robust data governance from day one. And critically, remember that while automation is the goal, human oversight remains essential. You need humans to validate AI decisions, handle the really complex novel issues, and continuously improve the system. It's about finding that balance.
Right. Not replacing humans, but augmenting them. Looking ahead now, where is AIOps going? What's the future look like, especially with AI advancing so rapidly?
We're definitely seeing market consolidation AIOps platforms integrating more tightly with observability, security, and other IT management tools, becoming part of a broader ecosystem.
Makes sense.
There's also a huge focus on embracing hybrid and multi-cloud complexity, providing that seamless operational view no matter where workloads are running.
And the ultimate goal, the holy grail, I suppose, is fully autonomous systems, self-healing IT.
Precisely. That's the long-term vision. Systems that can automatically detect, diagnose, and resolve issues, proactively adjusting themselves with minimal or maybe eventually no human intervention, driven by even more sophisticated predictive analytics.
And what about newer AI trends? Like generative AI, Gen AI, is that playing a role?
Absolutely. We're seeing Gen AI being integrated to augment productivity. Imagine it providing natural language summaries of complex incidents, or powering intelligent chatbots that can troubleshoot common IT problems by interacting with users and back-end systems.
So you could just ask a chatbot to fix your VPN connection, and it could potentially leverage AIOps insights to do it.
That's the idea, leveraging AIOps data to orchestrate user requests and automate remediation. providing instant support.
But perhaps even more profound is the shift towards what's being called agentic AI.
Agentic AI. Okay, that sounds interesting. What does that mean in the context of AI ops?
It's a significant evolution. Instead of just trying to build one single monolithic AI that gets smarter and smarter,
Right.
we're moving towards engineering modular systems.
Right.
Systems where multiple specialized AI agents collaborate. They work together to solve complex, layered problems.
So like a team of AI specialists. Exactly. Each agent might have a specific skill. One for network analysis, one for database diagnostics, one for correlating security events. They observe the environment, they reason about problems, they take actions, and they adapt often with minimal human input needed in real time.
So by the time a human engineer even gets alerted to a major issue,
Multiple AI agents might already be collaborating behind the scenes, clustering related alerts, identifying potential root causes across different domains, maybe even trying out initial remediation steps. It's a collaborative AI ecosystem working on the problem.
wow, that sounds like it will fundamentally change IT staffing and roles. What does that future look like for the human IT professional?
It will change things significantly. Human roles will absolutely shift. Less time spent on reactive troubleshooting, that day-to-day firefighting, and more time spent on strategic oversight, system design, handling the truly novel, complex problems that require human creativity and critical thinking. They become the designers and trainers of the AI systems, the architects of resilience. Organizations really need to prepare for this shift, investing in developing these higher-level skills.
So let's try and wrap this deep dive up. AI Ops, it seems, represents a truly foundational shift for IT operations. It's moving IT from being constantly reactive to being proactive, predictive, and highly automated. It directly tackles those major pain points like alert fatigue, slow incident resolution.
Delivering real, quantifiable benefits. We talked about huge MTTR reductions, cost savings through automation, much better reliability and availability.
And it acts as this catalyst, really, for broader digital transformation, freeing up IT teams to focus on innovation.
Right. And it's crucial to remember, it's not replacing ITOM, DevOps, SRE, it's enhancing them. It's that intelligent, data-driven layer, making everything work better together at scale.
And yes, there are challenges to implementation, data quality, integration, the crucial human and cultural aspects.
In careful planning.
But the future trajectory seems clear, towards greater autonomy, powered by things like agentic AI, leading ultimately towards more self-healing, resilient IT systems.
In today's world, IT performance is business performance. Availability, speed, reliability, they directly impact customer experience, revenue, everything.
No question.
So organizations that can proactively prevent outages, optimize their resources using this kind of intelligence, they gain a massive competitive advantage. Sticking with purely traditional manual IT operations, that's becoming a real risk to long-term viability.
Which really frames AIOps not just as some IT project, but as a critical business strategy. So maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is this. Consider how proactively adopting AI-powered intelligence in your own IT operations could not only prevent tomorrow's problems,
Which is valuable in itself.
absolutely, but also how it could fundamentally redefine your team's strategic value, shifting them from primarily being problem solvers after the fact to becoming proactive innovation enablers for the entire business.
It's a truly exciting prospect for the future of enterprise IT, I think.
Couldn't agree more. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI ops. We really hope this overview was useful, gave you a clearer picture of this transformative technology.
Hope it helped cut through some of the hype.
If you did find it useful, we'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Leave us a comment, and please feel free to suggest other topics you'd like us to dive into next.
We're always looking for ideas.
Until then, keep diving deep.